I recently took a cruise on board Azura, one of the ships in the P&O Cruises fleet. I previously cruised on this ship a few years ago, and I was really impressed with the overall experience that I found on board. This cruise ship underwent what P&O Cruises termed a revitalising refit in 2025, and as soon as I heard that, I knew that I was going to be really excited to get on board to see exactly what had changed. I always find cruise ship refits exciting because some of them I look at and I think I can completely understand why you've done that, while others sometimes leave me scratching my head. Since cruising on this ship, I've seen lots of comments online from people who agree with some aspects of the refit and also from some who don't. What's really surprised me is that I've seen comments online from people who think that this refit has completely changed the experience on board Azura, and that's something that I fundamentally disagree with. And throughout this video, I'm going to tell you why. In this video today, I'm going to show you exactly what's changed on board Azura. Before I took my cruise, I really struggled to find information on this, and I couldn't find any before and after shots. So throughout this video, I'm going to show you some snippets from what the ship looked like when I was on board back in 2022, and then I'll also follow that up with footage of what it looks like now. So if you enjoy this video today, and if you find it useful, which I really hope you do, then please consider supporting my channel by clicking both the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons. Now, as we go through this video today, I'm going to cover the refitted or updated areas by looking at 4 key topics. First, we're going to look at restaurants. Second, we're going to look at bars. Third, we're going to look at cabins. And fourth, well, under number 4, we're just going to look at everything else. So let's get started on the topic of restaurants. The first venue that I'm going to show you today is the Glass House, which is a firm P&O Cruises favourite. If you've been on any P&O Cruises ship before, then you'll know exactly what this is. This place is a Mediterranean-inspired tapas and wine bar, and this venue really hasn't changed a huge amount with Azura's 2025 refit. In fact, the most noticeable change in here won't even be spotted by the majority of people. The furniture seems the same, the roof space feels the same, the bar is generally the same, but what has changed, if you look really closely, is the carpet in some of the areas of this space. The new flooring is much lighter in colour, and I really do think it fits the venue much better than what was there before. When I walked into this space on Azura this time, I did think it had changed. I think it was probably because my eyes were looking for it, but this very abstract, bold line design that they've got through this venue, I thought that was brand new, but when I've looked back on my footage, it's exactly the same as what it was before. The carpets in here is pretty much the only main difference that I can see. Let me know in the comments as we go through this video if you spot any more changes as we go. Now let's move on to a venue on the ship that you'll probably see a much more obvious difference in, and that is the Epicurean. The Epicurean is P&O Cruises' answer to a fine dining restaurant on their ships. Here's what this space looked like when I cruised on Azura back in 2022. You'll see that in my 2025 footage, the venue itself isn't wildly different, but pay very close attention to things like the carpets, the cushions, and the bench seating that you can see in some of the booths and also running along the walls of this space. Let me now move to look at the updated shot. Doesn't this look so much better and so much fresher? Little things like fresher cushions, fresher carpets, just new upholstery and finishings can really make a ship feel much more elevated. I thought this space now felt far more premium than what it did back in 2022. And in fact, I would say, perhaps quite controversially, some of the design choices in here and throughout this video that I'll show you made Azura feel much more like the likes of Arvia or Iona, which are the two much larger, arguably much more Instagrammable ships in the fleet. Next, let's look at the buffet. To be honest, the buffet restaurant spaces have remained largely the same between my cruises, but one noticeable change was one really simple aspect. the hand washing areas. Now, you might wonder how I've managed to pick up on the hand washing areas. And I think it's probably due to the fact that while I was cruising on this ship, there was actually an outbreak on board, which meant that we were kept in lines to go up one by one to wash our hands, to sanitize our hands, to clean our hands there while a member of the crew watched us. So had that not been the case, I might not actually have even noticed this change because I would just go in, quickly wash my hands and walk past. But let me show you what it looks like now. At each of the entrances to the buffet restaurant, you'll find these hand washing facilities. The main change here is that they've been modernised a little with new, fresher tiles. I think they do look a lot better than what was there before, but as I said, you'd probably not even notice this difference if you hadn't been on the ship before and if you didn't know what you were looking for. So, long story short, it's been refreshed. That area of the ship looks a little bit fresher. But let's move on from hand washing facilities and let's now look at some spaces that, again, you probably will notice a change in, and that is the bars. Let's start by looking at one of the most popular bars on the ship. That's Breaker's Bar. You'll find Breaker's Bar on one of the top decks, looking down onto one of the main swimming pools. This space has been changed, mostly thanks to the introduction of new modern furniture. It's still pretty much the same as when I was last on board from a space point of view. You've got the smokers section at one side, non-smokers at the other, and then some lounging areas in the middle. But this new lounging furniture really does elevate the space, makes it feel more premium, and again, makes it feel more like Arvia and Iona. I couldn't help but think, as I saw more of this ship's refit, was that what they were trying to do? And to try and make these older ships feel much more like the newer ones? I guess it would make perfect sense from a brand consistency point of view, but who knows? I guess we'll just need to keep seeing what the rest of this refit looks like and also what the refits look like on the other older ships that will come in due course. Let me know down in the comments if you're liking what you're seeing from this refit, or if it's not really a massive overhaul and you're not really seeing too much change. Let me know. Next, let's look at a bar that I think has massively changed with this refit. We're going all the way to the back of the ship, on deck number 7, and we're going to look at a venue called Manhattan. Frustratingly, and I mean really frustratingly for the purpose of this video, when I was last on board, most of the footage that I captured of this space was actually at night, and it's therefore really, really dark. This time, however, I filmed in the harsh light of day, and look at how fresh this space looks now. They've clearly updated some of the furniture in here, and most noticeably, the carpets. This bar is probably the best example of what this refit has done to Azura overall. If you've never been on board before, you're not going to walk into this space or any of the refitted spaces on board, in fact, and be absolutely blown away and think it's the most amazing venue you've ever seen. But if you're familiar with the ship, you're probably going to really appreciate what's been done from an upgrade point of view. Moving to point 3, which is cabins or onboard accommodations. We didn't notice a huge difference in our cabin. We were staying in a fully obstructed ocean view cabin, and when we were in there, we didn't have any issues with the cabin, but it just felt like any other cabin on any other cruise ship. There was nothing really that I would look at and say, wow, that felt really fresh. It felt as though it had just been refitted. What I would say, however, is that we were able to access one of the suite grade accommodations later in the cruise, and that did feel really, really different to our ocean view cabin. Now, I'm not sure if that might have always looked as modern as that, but certainly when you compare the suite to the cabin that we were in, there was a marked difference. So perhaps that has been part of the refit. I couldn't get a solid answer to that, but I do think the suites are looking absolutely fantastic. On that note, I should add that this video has been put together not in collaboration with P&O Cruises. I wanted to put this video together because since being on the ship, so many people have said, can you tell me what she's like post-refit? And a lot of people are struggling, like I did before my cruise, to get a solid answer about what actually has changed and how much has changed. So the perspective that I'm giving you in this video today is from my perspective as a typical regular passenger. Now, cabins and suites. Okay, fine. There were some differences there. In my cabin, I didn't notice a huge difference as a result of the refit, but where I did was in the corridors outside. It was very clear that these corridors have been updated with that refit. I think it's looking as though it's the carpeting in the corridors, on the floors, and also in the lower sections of the walls that's been updated. This, again, makes Azura feel much more like Arvia and Iona. You can probably see a recurring pattern here, but it's very clear that the cabin corridors have been updated. When it comes to point number 4, that's everything else, there are a couple of really interesting areas and interesting points to mention. At the Loyalty and Cruise sales desk, for example, the official P&O Cruises website explains that the refit has introduced an additional service desk and also a brochure rack and digital screens. There's new top deck furniture that's been added to the ship as a result of the refit, bringing lots of that back to the standard that you would expect when you go on holiday. Azura's also had 6 whirlpools replaced during her refit. When I've looked at the deck plans, there are 3 main pool spaces on board that have 2 whirlpools each. So I would expect that's 2 whirlpools that have been upgraded per pool. I mentioned earlier about the strong comments that suggest the onboard experience has been altered as a result of the 2025 refit, and I also mentioned that I fundamentally disagree with that statement or claim. So, why is that? In a nutshell, I don't think this refit has fundamentally changed Azura at all. What this refit has done is it's brought a ship that some might argue was looking tired and a bit dated back to feel a bit more modern. A lot of the spaces have got renewed furniture, fresher fittings, new carpets, but it's not completely overhauled entire areas with venues being removed, new spaces being put on, and the ship feeling completely different to what it was before. The way that I would summarise this refit is that it's probably exactly what Azura was needing. Yes, P&O Cruises could have done more, and they could have made this refit so much more impactful, but I don't think that's what they were trying to do. I think they were trying to keep Azura as the ship that so many people have grown to know, and in my case, grown to love, and just try and bring it back up to where it was a few years before. The ship does feel much fresher, and it feels far more up to date versus where it was when I was on board in 2022. But I will be really intrigued to see how she ages ahead of her next dry dock, which will, from the point of recording this video, presumably be in 4 to 5 years' time. So watch this space on that one, I guess. Now that's a quick, brief summary on what I could see that had changed as a result of the dry dock on Azura. I really hope you've enjoyed this video today, and if you have, then as I mentioned earlier, please support my channel by clicking both the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons. I use my YouTube channel to share all my cruise experiences with you, and I have got so much more to tell you about. Over in this video, I take you on a full tour of Azura, covering every single venue from the bottom of the ship all the way up to the top. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll hopefully see you over in this one next.